Nearly 6 million parents and children in the U.S. are inappropriately sharing identity information, and a staggering 140,000 identity frauds are perpetrated against minors each year. That's why it's so important to protect you and your loved ones from threats you may not be aware of. And here to talk about what you can do to protect yourself is Director of Corporate Communications from LifeLock, Tammy Neely. Thanks so much for joining us here on Better Living. So what exactly is identity theft?
So identity theft happens when criminals use pieces of your personal information in combination. So maybe your name and your social security number, your name and your date of birth, and they go out and try to open new accounts using your good name. So maybe they're getting a new line of credit, maybe they're going to file your taxes before you and try to get your return, and each time they're going to be leaving you stuck with the bill.
And how do you know if you're a victim of identity theft? Because a lot of times you don't know.
That's exactly right. A lot of victims are finding out when they start getting letters in the mail, phone calls from collection agencies telling them that they're past due on accounts. They may discard the first few letters that come in the mail saying, I didn't open that account, that's not me. But when the phone calls start coming in and they're able to confirm that the collection agency has their name and their social security number, that's when red flags really show up that they truly have been the victim of identity theft.
What's the first step to protecting yourself from identity theft?
The first step to protecting yourself is really to understand what the criminals don't want you to know. And today, so many of us and so many of our children are online on Facebook where we're sharing a lot of information. So on the About Me page on Facebook, you have the opportunity to share your name, your home address, your date of birth, your home phone number, your personal phone number, or even your email address. And all of that information, again, pieces of the puzzle that identify who you are to criminals. If you don't put it out there, you're not going to be shut off or locked out of your account. It's really, you have to ask yourself, why do I really need to publish this information?
But sometimes you don't put the information out there, but someone's taking it from you. For example, if you use like a debit card, right?
That's exactly right. So many of us use credit and debit cards every single day. When was the last time you went out to eat and maybe handed your card over to someone you didn't know?
Probably a couple days ago.
That's exactly right. We do it every day. It's the convenience factor. But unfortunately, every time we hand over that credit or debit card, the thief, posing maybe as a waiter or waitress that day, has one of these in their hand. And this is a handheld skimming device that can hold up to 1,500 credit or debit cards. So when they take your credit card or your debit card from you, the information on the magnetic strip right here is the same as on the front of the card. So it's your name, your account number, and the expiration date. One swipe through this handheld skimmer, your information is now on here. They can run it through at the restaurant, bring you your bill back, and you never know that your information was copied.
But that seems almost unavoidable nowadays. I mean, so many of us don't carry cash and use our debit cards and our credit cards. How can we protect ourselves from devices like that?
So if you're very concerned about that, you can really ask the waiter or waitress, can I accompany you back to the machine? It may feel awkward, you might get a few strange looks, but that way you go home that night resting assured that your information wasn't compromised because it never left your line of vision.
How does LifeLock actually work?
So LifeLock works to put in place the LifeLock Identity Alert System, which goes out there and scans, monitors, and detects for your information in new applications and new accounts. So if you go to open a new account somewhere, you're going to use all of your correct information. If a thief were to go out there, he or she will use pieces of your information. LifeLock is going to see that there's not a complete match. Maybe the address is different. We'll reach out to you and say, did you move and not update your account? If it's you, we'll make sure that it goes through. If it's not you, we're going to stop that before the thief can do any sort of damage to you.
Tammy, thanks so much for teaching us today about identity theft, how the thieves steal our information, and more importantly, how to protect ourselves. We really appreciate it.
Thank you.
We learned a lot. And to find out more information about how you can protect yourself from identity theft, you can go to www.lifelock.com/education.